Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here and welcome back to our next episode of the SWE Universe Mode. We are back with our next episode of Carnage, and it is going to be sheer carnage here this evening. Last week we saw Matanza Cueto assault... No, we saw Brock Lesnar assault Matanza Cueto, and tonight... And here is our opening match of the evening. It is going to be Sabu taking on the Sandman in a tables match. Now, of course, Sabu had a busy time. Of course, if you've not seen it already, then best go back and check it out, because I'll probably be talking about the results of yesterday's special, which was the Carnage Extreme title tournament. So yeah, this is your last chance. Boom. Sabu had a difficult time. Of course, he got all the way to the final of that tournament before losing, of course, to Jerry Lynn. It was a tricky night for him. He did earn a lot of ranking points out of it, though. 2 victories worth 10 points apiece. Then lost in the final, of course, so he ended up losing 10 points. He's gained 10 points from that tournament, which is pretty good for him. And he's got a good chance to continue building that momentum here this evening when he takes on the Sandman in a tables match. But of course, Sabu is going for many different angles. We will have a hardcore championship match as Rhino will defend the belt at the pay-per-view. But at the moment, we've got that down as a 4-way dance. It's going to be invitation only. So basically, we won't know who it's going to be until that night. We're not going to book a match. We're going to give the people the opportunity, Rhino the opportunity to pick who he wants to be in that match. And no, Rhino, he's going to want some pretty good competition, and I feel like it might end up being some of these guys here. Sandman and Sabu, both big members of the ECW roster. Rhino knows very, very well. It wouldn't surprise me if he selects them in that match. But our pay-per-view is going to be mega now, isn't it? Because we've got 6 championships now. Yeah, 6 championships on Carnage. We've got the Hardcore, the Tag Team, the Women's, the Extreme, the Wyatt, and of course the Carnage Championship as well. So there's not much space on pay-per-views now for much else. So it might be a case where championships are not defended at a pay-per-view. They might be defended... I think Carnage will be the one place where championships be defended a lot more often. Of course, last week we crowned our first Wyatt champion, who was Bray Wyatt. And we will see Bray Wyatt in action again once again this evening. He will be facing off against Killian Dain. And for that match, we have banned all the Sanity members from ringside, basically because it just got a bit too one-sided last week, didn't it? Bray Wyatt still won the Wyatt Championship, but for a large period of that match, you just there was a lot of interference and so forth, and it was very, very tricky for Bray Wyatt to come out on top because the Sanity members were distracted the referee and so forth. But Bray Wyatt did achieve it eventually, and it was Killian Dain who was really the man who was most getting involved, which is why Bray Wyatt has requested this match against Killian Dain here this evening. Killian Dain obviously more than happy to accept because he knows a victory over the Wyatt champion would definitely put him in the title picture. Oh, Sabu's going to wrestle with his headdress on tonight then, is he? Okay. That's interesting. Not quite sure why that's happening. I'm assuming whoever made the call forgot to turn the headdress off as attire only, as entrance only, but it's going to get a little bit messy this one then, isn't it? We'll have to remember. I thought I'd use Sabu's second attire, considering we saw him last night in his first attire, just to mix things up a little bit, but evidently if his second attire is like this, then it's not going to be looking too good, is it? Sabu then heading up to the top. Nice big leg drop on the Sandman. Of course, Sabu did very, very well last night, but it was Jerry Lynn who came out on top of that championship tournament. And Jerry Lynn won 3 matches, all utilising the Tombstone Piledriver. I thought Sabu was going to win it because Sabu had that fantastic first round where he absolutely hammered Killshot. Really got through him really, really quickly. So I'm a bit surprised that Sabu didn't come through and win that one, to be honest. But it was a really good performance by Jerry Lynn. Sandman now, dropping Sabu. Oh, Gutbuster. Well, what was going on there? So many twists and turns. Sabu now brought back up to his feet. Sandman looking for that suplex, but Sabu fighting back. There's a right hand in the gut of Sandman, now sending him into the ropes. Sabu dragging Sandman away. Oh, we saw this. This is how we got past Killshot in the first round. The springboard split leg moonsault. And I was going to say he didn't go for the pin, but of course it is a tables match. It's not going to go for a bloody pin, is he? That'd be stupid going for a pin. Sabu now then has a table in the ring. Just hits Sandman with it. Sabu setting that table up now, middle of the ring. Sabu sending Sandman right into the table. Now over the top. If Sabu can like suplex Sandman over, what the hell just happened? How did that? What? Oh wow, Sandman. Oh, looking for the powerbomb. It would have gone straight through the table as well if he had got that. They would have got that straight through the table. Sabu just about staying in the match. I don't know if that was is that part of the tables match, that dynamic? I don't know, to be honest. Oh, Sabu almost put himself through the table with that enziguri. Sabu once again setting the table up after he knocked it over. Sabu now sending Sandman into that table. And again, just throwing him into that. I'm not quite sure what Sabu's game plan here is. Just keep throwing him into the table by the looks of it. Sandman bringing Sabu back in, draping him across the middle ropes and dropping him with that DDT. Again, Sabu said, I don't know what Sabu's game is here. He just keeps launching Sandman into that table over and over and over again. I feel like there's not enough. Ooh, oh, that table didn't break. I am the table. The table just did not break. It would have been the end if it was. Sabu now bringing that table back to the outside with him. I'm quite sure what the plan is here. There's no tables in the ring. Of course, to win a tables match, one of the keys of that is a table normally. Sandman, nice running power slam. Sandman sending Sabu into the ring. Into the turnbuckle. I kept doing that yesterday, didn't I? Sandman hoist up to the top. Nice Frankensteiner. And Sabu now looking, Sandman now looking for a table. Sandman was a strong aspect in the tables match scene, wasn't he, back in ECW? I seem to know it wasn't. I was going to say I remember him pile driving Tommy Dreamer's wife for a table, but he didn't, did he? It was the way around, wasn't it? No, it wasn't the way around. Rhino it was, wasn't it? Rhino pile drived Beulah McGillicuddy for a table, didn't he? Here we go. Sandman does have the intelligence here to figure out how to use this scenario. That's a mixture of situation and scenario there for you. Scenario. Yeah, Sabu just does not understand how this table works at all. He just keeps throwing Sandman into it and throwing him now to the far side as well. I feel like Sabu just might not have the intelligence to win this one at this rate. Sabu dropping a leg drop against the back of the neck of Sandman. Slides back in the ring and Sabu once again now throwing Sandman straight into the table. Sandman catching Sabu. Drags him along and Sabu's been in control this match most of the way through, but Sandman here looking to try and go Northern Lights suplex through the table. Wow. What a way to end it. And Sandman defeating Sabu. And Sabu, he's probably a bit tired, I must say. He did wrestle 3 matches last night. Can't take that away from him. He wrestled 3 matches last night. But still, Sandman able to come back. And really, I think that Sabu probably had the opportunities to win that one quite often. But Sabu just did not do a very good job there, did he? He didn't take advantage of any situation. There was that Northern Lights suplex by Sandman, putting Sabu through the table. And I really like that mechanic this year. Rather than the stupid standing on the table and trying to hit a power driver, using proper moves like that to put people through the table is pretty awesome. I like that. And there we go then. The Sandman is victorious in this match against Sabu. That's going to give him some ranking points towards that Hardcore Championship. And I would not be surprised if Sandman was one of the guys that ended up in that Hardcore Championship match at our pay-per-view. And here's our next match of the evening. It is going to be the Cactus Jack taking on Raven in an Extreme Rules match. Epic. These are the matches we all live for, aren't they? This is the stuff. Now, did we do this on our last... I mean, we did this on 2K16 as a random match, I believe. But it's just a pretty awesome match. And two other guys that you'd think would be very good shouts for potentially that tournament against... the Fatal 4-Way, of course, at the pay-per-view for the Hardcore Championship. Very much a hardcore-based night here this evening. We still have another few matches left for you, though, of course. We do have Baron Corbin versus Luke Harper. We have Bray Wyatt versus Killian Dain. And then your main event of the evening, Brock Lesnar versus Matanza Cueto. It's only the third time in SWE history those two guys are going to be in the ring together. And both of the other times, Matanza Cueto has come out on top. But whose turn is to come out on top tonight? That's the question. Cactus is looking happy with himself, as he always does. I'm Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Don't know why I came across really camp all of a sudden. Bang, bang. And then, of course, quote the Raven, nevermore. Retro Raven. Again, a very strong aspect. And I feel like Raven this year should be more involved in the hardcore division. The hardcore division is not going to be... Last year, the hardcore division was very ultra-violent, up-to-date, wasn't it? And this year, it's not going to be far away. There's still going to be some of those guys in there, but I feel like the likes of Sabu, Sandman, Raven need to be more involved. Last year, we were very much stuck with the... Not stuck with, but we very much pushed the Brody Lee... Brody Lee? Bruiser Brody. Abdullah the Butcher. Yunkazai, Jackie Numazawa even. Abdullah Kobayashi. Matt Tremont, Nick Gage. But I feel like adding people like Sandman and Raven and Sabu, just get some retro hardcore names in there as well. And here we go then. This is an Extreme Rules match, so no disqualifications, no countouts, but pinfalls and submissions must take place inside the confines of the ring. Referee rings the bell and we are underway. And straight away Raven with a running bulldog. Raven straight to the outside, looking for some weaponry. He's got himself a sledgehammer, but Cactus gives him a right hand before he gets a chance to use it, and there's a back elbow. Cactus now looking for the neck breaker on Raven. Clubbing blow to the back, and once again, I'm just sort of looking at some of the shirts of the crowd to try and figure out who they're for. I can see a Roman. Who's the one in the front row that looks like a frame? Not sure who that is, to be honest. I'm not sure who those. I can see Seth Rollins t-shirts. Some Fandango t-shirts. I'm not quite sure who some of these are, to be honest. There's a Dean Ambrose t-shirt there in the front row as well. Of course, Dean Ambrose is on this brand alongside Seth Rollins. I think we've got them planned in for a match, have we? Well, Dean Ambrose is due for a match next week. And then Dean Ambrose and Seth are due for a match in a couple of weeks as a tag team as well. We'll see a bit more of those coming up. It's a big roster, this one, here in Carnage. And I feel like there's going to be... I'm sort of testing the rivalries out this season. Of course, they didn't really work too well last year. So Carnage is the tester. Brock Lesnar versus Matanza is our tester feud. If that all goes well, we'll use a lot more, I think. Cactus Jack. Waiting Raven to get back up to his feet now, Jack. You've got to laugh sometimes, haven't you? Because you've got no idea what else to do in these situations. That was just comical, really, wasn't it? Absolutely comical. Running bulldog by Raven on the outside on Mr. Cactus Jack. As Raven now underneath the ring looking for a little bit of help. He's got himself a table, which is going to be a little bit useless because he's going to use it as a blunt object, isn't he? Yes, he is. I like the idea of having tables under the ring, but I wish the AI would know how to use them. Like in a tables match, the AI, okay, he is going to bring the table into the ring. Maybe he is actually going to use it as a table. Which would be pretty cool if he does, actually. I'll be happy with that. Cactus now sending Raven into the corner. Raven with the elbow in the leg of Cactus. Cactus with the overhand punch back. Sending Raven into the corner. A boot in the gut, and now Cactus looking for that big knee strike. Known across the land to that knee strike, and maybe the tail won't get a chance to be used though, as Cactus stalking Raven. Hooks him in. There's the pile driver. And that could be game, set, match here. There's the pin. 1, 2. No, and Raven kicks out. I dare say the winner of this match could be a shoo-in for that Hardcore Championship match at the pay-per-view. Nice running double axe handle by Cactus. Is that that pile driver? That's not his finisher, is it? That's just his signature. So he should still have a double arm DDT saved up, ready to go. You'd think, anyway. Well, that was by Cactus. They're just throwing, sort of compressing the face of Raven, then just throwing him to the ground. Raven kicking out, though. Cactus looking for that right hand, but Raven fought back. Raven now looking for the DDT, and he's hit it. Maybe Raven's turned this one around, you know. There's the pin on Cactus. 1, 2, and no, and Cactus kicked out as well. Big maneuvers here this evening. Raven now dropping an elbow right in the heart of Cactus Jack. Before heading up top, Raven now looking at the double axe handle, once again hits it. Oh, that's not very good. My bloody TV's gone off. I can't see what's going on. Okay. Okay, I've got it. It's going back. It's going back. I've got it. There you go. I've got that stupid energy saving thing on my telly, so if you don't use the telly for so long, it switches itself off. There's a pin by Raven after the assault by the kendo stick, and it's enough. Wow. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? I missed it by the end of the match, more or less. But it's a good win there for Raven, and like I said, I feel like the winner of that one could be a shoo-in for for Rhino's championship, and Cactus back up on his feet now, and Raven looks like he's offering a show of respect, as Joey Styles says there. Oh, Cactus is not impressed at all, and Cactus is slapping the hand away. Ah, interesting. Interesting. And here's our next match of the evening. Two of the big men here on Carnage. Baron Corbin versus Luke Harper. Now, I'm a big Luke Harper fan. I'd like to push him a bit more in this one. I feel like the Wyatt Championship, or even the Carnage Championship, could be a good shout for Harper. It could be, actually, yeah. Carnage Championship. I feel like he could very much fit the mould of some of the big guys. Of course, we do have Matanza, Cueto, Brock Lesnar, Mil Muertes. We do have a few monsters here on Carnage. Adding Luke Harper into that picture could be interesting, because Luke Harper is a bit of a loose cannon. He does have some weird gimmicks. He's Bludgeon Brothers now, isn't he, I think? We've not seen the returners yet. Well, I'm recording this a little bit earlier, so there's been one episode of SmackDown since I recorded this. We've not seen the Bludgeon Brothers just as yet. It feels like the Bludgeon Brothers will be the ones that have been attacking Breezango over all this time. Which is a really weird... I don't know. It's tricky because you want to bring the Bludgeon Brothers in. You want to make them look good and you want to make them look strong. But at the same time, Breezango have done such a good job over the last year or so. I suppose jobbing... Well, it's not necessarily jobbing. If they're put on a good match and lose, that'd be fine. But if they put on a squash, that'll be real, just bringing the hard work that Breezango have done. Although the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Ascension is something I would like to see. I would like to see that very much. So here is Baron Corbin. Looking pretty damn good. And it'd be interesting to see which one of these two come out on top, because it's a real interesting match, isn't it? It's that upper mid-card position. One of these two guys is going to get a good opportunity to move forward, and the other one is going to end up faltering a bit, not only losing 5 ranking points, but losing a chunk of their momentum as well. The first time both of these two guys have been seen in SWE Season 3. So at the moment the momentum is completely... Oh, so that's where King Cuerno's entrance came from. That's weird. I didn't even realise he had that bow and arrow entrance, but that's pretty cool. Luke Harper did the entrance just so King Cueto can have his entrance on this game. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So Luke Harper then making his way to the ring. I am pulling for Harper in this one. I normally like to stay in the middle, but for me, I'm really pulling for Harper. I'm a massive Harper fan. I'm so disappointed he didn't get his run because it was there. It was so perfect to have Harper versus Orton versus Wyatt at WrestleMania. That was perfect. That was all planned in. It was spot on. The storyline had built fantastically for 4 or 5 months. Then all of a sudden they decided to pull it and just go for a Orton versus Wyatt match, which in my opinion was the worst match on the WrestleMania card this year. It had some interesting parts to it, don't get me wrong. The cockroaches on the mat and stuff like that was pretty cool, but apart from that, it was a pretty boring match. Harper now taking Corbin down and into the single-legged Boston Crab. Don't forget we still have 2 more matches left for you after this one. We have Bray Wyatt versus Killian Dain one-on-one with Sanity banned from ringside. And we also have Brock Lesnar versus Matanza Cueto in your main event of the evening. The only man to ever defeat Brock Lesnar in all 3 seasons of SWE was Matanza Cueto. And it was Brock Lesnar last week who attacked Matanza Cueto during his entrance before his match with Phoenix, which left Matanza Cueto a difficult situation, a big underhanding, and it ended up with Phoenix getting the victory. So it was the first time Matanza had ever suffered a singles defeat. Now this is not Extreme Rules, this is just a standard match, so this is count-outs and disqualifications in this one. Wanted to utilise how good these 2 wrestlers really are rather than having... Oh, they're in a terrible position right now, though. That's not... Well, at least now that when they hit the ring steps, they go over quite a distance, don't they? Referee's up to a 6 counts. And Harper's going to throw him into the steps. No, Harper just throw him back in the ring. So Harper's in control at this point in time, which is a good situation for me. Say I'm a Harper fan. Harper now dragging Corbin across into a snapmare. What's Harper's finishes? The discus lariat, isn't it? And there's a big headbutt by Harper, taking Baron Corbin down. Now Harper is heading for a springboard quesadora. And of course, that is what Luke Harper's all about. He's one of the most agile big men you've got in WWE at this point in time. As Harper now just pulling away at the face of Baron Corbin. Harper bringing Corbin back up and a big overhand to the back of the head. Harper now getting around the back of Corbin once again, dropping him face first across the ropes as well. And Harper stalking Corbin. This could be a short match, this one. Harper, there's the discus lariat. Corbin folded in half. Harper straightens the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Luke Harper picks up a very quick victory. This has been a very quick show, hasn't it? We've only got 2 matches left. We're only half an hour in. Carnage is the place to come for squash matches, and there we go. Luke Harper, hand is raised, and you see Baron Corbin now back up on his feet. Baron Corbin. What's Baron Corbin saying here? Ah, a show of great sportsmanship there, but it's not what we normally see from Baron Corbin, to be honest. But a shake of the hands with Bray Wyatt. It's been a bit interesting. Bray Wyatt with Luke Harper, a bit of an interesting situation there. I'm not quite sure at all where that's come from. But either that, Luke Harper's still victorious. And here we go then, here is our next match of the evening. Bray Wyatt, your Wyatt champion, takes on Killian Dain one-on-one. Of course, Sanity have been banned from ringside. So essentially, Sanity have been banned from ringside because of the influence they had on the match last week, essentially. And the main person from that influence was, of course, Mr. Killian Dain, which is why Bray Wyatt has requested this match. And here comes Bray. Is he wearing the belt? He should be. God, it's cold, isn't it? It's bloody cold. Bray, you wearing the belt? It doesn't say Wyatt champion next to his name, but then again, I don't think that it would do in that. Do 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 do. It's a bit of a boring entrance, Bray Wyatt, isn't it? Because you can't see bugger all, it's dark. It's literally just watching the light slowly walk down a a rampway, isn't it? Well, you don't even know if it's a rampway, do you? I've got no idea what we're looking at right now. So, yeah, Bray Wyatt, your Wyatt champion, defeated Eric Young last week in a singles match, but of course we had Sawyer Fulton, Alexander Wolf, and Killian Dain all at ringside for that one. Still nothing to see here. The way the camera's tracking him, you can't even see him. I think he has got the belt on. He should have the belt on. Is it? Yeah, he has. Yeah. I was going to say he should have the belt on. He's the champion. So here is your first ever SWE Wired champion. That's our upper mid-card championship here. And it's nice it doesn't clip through his clothes or anything. That's pretty good. It actually suits him really well, actually. And then again, his opponent, like I said, is going to be Killian Dain, the beast from Belfast. Who's going to have another really slow entrance as well, isn't he, I bet? By the way, it fills full of smoke. That's pretty cool. Has he got like a funny little thing on his... Oh, he has. He's got slightly different entrance music, hasn't he? I forgot as well, Killian Dain's one half of the tag team champions, isn't he? So this is champion versus champion here this evening then. Killian Dain, one half of the tag team champions. Although he's probably not going to be for too long. We're going to freebird it, and I feel like it's going to be Alexander Wolf and Sawyer Fulton. I see Sawyer Fulton was released last week as well by WWE, which was a bit surprised. I thought that having him on the game was an indication that he's going to be returning soon. He's going to be part of Sanity, make it a stronger group, but evidently that's not the case. I'm looking forward to this one. I think both these guys will link together quite nicely, actually. I think the styles they've both got are pretty strong. And I feel like it is going to be a very, very good match. God, these entrances are so bloody long, aren't they? Everyone's milking these, aren't they? And here we go then. Killian Dain, you see Bray Wyatt shouting towards Killian Dain. So here we go. Bray Wyatt versus Killian Dain, one-on-one. There's the DDT straight off the bat, and Bray Wyatt needs to have a strong showing here as well after his victory last week against Eric Young. He needs to show exactly what he's got. He needs to show a nice strong performance here once again. Oh, what a headbutt that was by Killian Dain, my God. Bray dropped like a sack of spuds. Dain now with the short, sharp drop kick on Bray Wyatt, bringing Bray back up to his feet once again. Another drop kick. Dain now bringing Bray back up to a seated base, now up to kneeling, now up to stand. I don't know why they do that in 3 stages. Why can't it just go straight to the standing? It's a bit odd, isn't it? As Dain now just crunching the shoulder of Bray Wyatt. And sending the back of the head first into the mat. And what is this? Eric Rowan is on his way down to the ring. Of course, the Wyatt family not as stable with SWE. Of course, Sanity banned from ringside, and Eric Rowan is just shouting down here at Killian Dain. Bray Wyatt now sending Dain into the corner, and the distraction may have been enough. And is this mean that Eric Rowan's reforming? Is he realigning here with Bray Wyatt? This would be interesting, wouldn't it? Nice clothesline there by Bray, now dropping an elbow right on the shoulder of Killian Dain as well. And Bray Wyatt now really sped on by the introduction here of Eric Rowan entering. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like the fact that Eric Rowan's back here. Maybe Bray's done a bit of talking backstage. Maybe Bray has gone to Eric Rowan and said, look, I need your help. I need the family back together. Eric Rowan could really help Bray Wyatt even up the numbers against Sanity. Nice SDO there. Bray Wyatt taking Killian Dain now. There's the pin. One. Only a 1 count. Bray now bringing Dain back up, and this will be interesting. Then the Sanity guys can't be happy with this. Obviously, they've been banned from ringside, and out comes Eric Rowan. Of course, Rowan's not physically been involved in the match, but the distraction that he's given Killian Dain at the moment has really given Bray Wyatt the upper hand in this match. Bray just twisting the head of Dain, and now Brain? That's Bray and Killian Dain together is Brain. Didn't think of that. Bray now taking Dain up into that big... That's not a Uranagi, is it? Uranagi? Could be a Uranagi. That's a Sister Abigail, though. And there's the pin. 1, 2... And no, Killian Dain kicked out of a Sister Abigail. That's showing the incredible resilience and the monstrous nature of Killian Dain. Dain now bringing Wyatt back up. Big boot in the chest of Bray, and another big boot in the chest as well. And Killian Dain just shouting now at the crowd and pointing down at Bray Wyatt. Killian Dain, though, in control of this match, and it seems like the introduction of Eric Rowan seems to have worn off now for Dain. He seems to have got his attention back on. Dain now bringing Wyatt back up to his feet. Dain sending Wyatt into the corner. What is Dain going for here? He's got Bray up on his shoulders. He's looking for that one-wing angel. If he does, this could be the end of the match. There it is, the one-wing angel by Killian Dain on Bray Wyatt. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh, and Bray Wyatt kicks out as well. Holy crap. That would have been massive there for Killian Dain if he pulled this victory off. Bray now, big clothesline taking Dain down. And Bray now the boot right in the chest. Only for a 2 count though. Bray Wyatt now bringing Killian Dain back up to his feet, and Eric Rowan's been pretty good on the outside so far. He hasn't got involved at all though, and there we go. Killian Dain just sending Bray Wyatt right over the top, crashing to the ground below. Now launching him neck first across the area outside the ring. Bray taking Dain down before dropping a headbutt as well. Oh, Killian Dain's been busted open by that headbutt. Wow. Bray really hit Dain hard there with that headbutt then. Referee's up to a 4 count. Elbow in the head once again by Bray Wyatt. And Bray, your Carnage Wyatt champion in firm control here. Dropping a back senton on Dain straight into the pin. That could be enough, you know. 1, 2. It's only for a 2 count. Only enough for a 2 count. Bray Wyatt. Oh, we've seen this before. It's time for the scary crab. And not the type of scary crabs we've all had before. We're going to see a second Sister Abigail of the match. Bray kissing the blood-soaked forehead of Killian Dain. Hitting that Sister Abigail for the 1, the 2, and the 3 count. Bray Wyatt, your Wyatt champion, is victorious here. But the introduction of Eric Rowan into this match has really started to get people talking here. Eric Rowan coming back to support his former family patriarch Of course, the numbers were really against Bray Wyatt last week, and now Eric Rowan looking to even things up as much as he can. And I feel like next week it will only be. I feel like next week we need to build upon this. I think next week. Next week, then we're going to announce right now Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan are going to take on Killian Dain and Eric Young in a tag team match. That is going to happen next week for you guys. See Bray Wyatt here. Really appreciative here of Eric Rowan's introduction. Bray doesn't look too surprised though. Bray looks like this was all planned the whole way through. Bray looks like that this was his plan all along. And now it's time for our main event of the evening. Brock Lesnar takes on Matanza Cueto one-on-one. Of course, remember last week Brock Lesnar attacked Matanza Cueto during his entrance, which led to Matanza Cueto eventually losing the match and to Phoenix. So Brock Lesnar's already in the ring, ready to go, and Matanza Cueto jumping the barricade there, creeping up behind Brock Lesnar and taking him out from behind. Wow. I need to get rid of these subtitles. They're annoying, aren't they? So Matanza Cueto getting the initial strike there on Brock Lesnar. But Brock able to fight back straight away into a standing Kimura lock on Matanza Cueto, but Cueto taking Matanza up on his shoulders, dropping him neck first across that top rope. Now, I have tried to widen Matanza Cueto, but I can't figure out for the life of me how to use the creations this year. I really can't. I've found the body size bit, and you just can't seem to change it for some reason. So I'm going to have to wait and find a better Matanza. But at the moment, I don't want to change it, of course, because we've got the rivalry ongoing. Which at the moment, the rivalries are going pretty well, actually. I'm quite enjoying the way that they all work. Of course, the rivalry started last week with that attack by Brock Lesnar on Matanza Cueto. Now, leading up to this match here, we've got another cutscene with the attack through the crowd by Matanza Cueto. So, it's looking pretty cool, actually. I'm liking the way the rivalries are working. I would like to be able to place my own cutscenes where I want them, though, to be honest. That would be the dream of SWE. Yeah, Matanza's really skinny, isn't he? Obviously, it is possible to get it that size, isn't it? There's a big Alabama slam. It's definitely possible to get that size because we've got people like Yokozuna and Mark Henry and even Jeff Cobb over in Throwdown's got the right body size. So I'm not quite sure why this Matanza one isn't. I know there has been quite a few bugs with the created wrestlers still, though. Logos not showing and stuff like that, really, but should be okay. Lesnar went for the kick in the back, but Matanza Cueto avoiding it. Matanza now with a big backdrop on Brock Lesnar, middle of the ring. This is big. This is worth 10 ranking points to the winner and minus 10 to the loser, so it's a big swing of 20 points, this one. And currently these two guys are 1 and 2 in the rankings by quite some distance. Brock Lesnar on 235, Matanza Cueto on 220. So of course the winner of this one will be top of the rankings. The loser will be second. No, if Matanza loses this, he will drop to third beneath Braun Strowman. Matanza back up, right hand in the gut of Brock Lesnar. Matanza now Northern Light suplex on Lesnar as well. Matanza dragging Lesnar middle of the ring. Looks to gut wrench him up. Into a gut wrench, but keeps the grip, rolls the hip. Looking for a secondary gut wrench suplex. And he hits it again. Keeps the grip, rolls the hip, looking for a tertiary one. There it is, the third gut wrench suplex. Matanza Cueto, the only man ever in SWE to really take Lesnar for a ride. And for the kick in the back, but Matanza rolled out the way. Lesnar fighting back with that clubbing blow in the back, and once again catching Matanza into that backdrop. That was a real high angle backdrop, that was. Matanza really dropped in the back of his head and the back of his neck. Brock sending Matanza into the corner. And what's he going for here? Running knee strike by Matanza, catching that knee. Big right hand, the clubbing blow to the back of Lesnar. Oh, what a big slam. I think that might be his finisher, you know. It is. We're going to see a replay of that as well. That spinning Lesnar and dropping him face first. Wow. Really utilising his strength so much, and that could be the end. Lesnar rolling Brock Lesnar over. Matanza rolling Brock Lesnar over. And it is. Matanza Cueto's pinned Brock Lesnar again. Wow. Lesnar's not going to be happy about that, is he? Matanza Cueto is the only man ever to pin Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar is yet to beat Matanza Cueto once. Matanza's now beaten Lesnar 3 separate times by pinfall. One of those, of course, was for the Mayhem Championship. Brock Lesnar tried to get some retribution last week by attacking Matanza, and he did. He took Matanza Cueto's unbeaten streak away from him when Matanza lost to Phoenix after that attack before the match by Brock Lesnar. And now Matanza Cueto has got some retribution, but I dare say that Lesnar's not going to let things lie here. I think Lesnar's going to want another opportunity. And there's the free count. Matanza Cueto victorious over Brock Lesnar once again. I think we're definitely going to have a rematch of this one at the pay-per-view, which of course is coming up for you in a few weeks' time. Matanza Cueto versus Brock Lesnar. I think it's definitely going to happen again. Maybe we'll have to try one of the new one of the new match types. Maybe a Falls Count Anywhere, not Falls Count Anywhere. Maybe a Last Man Standing. Maybe. This is actually made Matanza Cueto #1 contender for the Carnage Championship. Apparently, no, he's not. Brock Lesnar's #1 contender, even though he's lost. Matanza Cueto's 26th for the Wyatt Championship. That's a bit odd, isn't it? But there you go. What a win that was for Matanza Cueto. And he is looking in dominant form. That puts him top of the rankings. And that puts Brock Lesnar down to 2nd in the rankings. So guys, that's the end of the episode tonight. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do hit that like button. And of course, subscribe if you want to see some more as well. I've been Shabba Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you very, very soon for our next episode of SWE, which will be on Monday or Tuesday. And that is going to be our Throwdown pay-per-view. Bye.